Why must I have these lines over my face if I want to sit in the best spot? Okay. How we end up just living in our heads. Living in our heads does not simply mean overthinking all the time, although that is a part of it. When I say living in our heads, I mean living out scenarios and drawing from them a sense of satisfaction that is not rooted in action, it's only rooted in thinking. Honestly, I don't know how many of us suffer from it, but in an age where you're connected to the whole world, but only within a digital reality, who knows how many of us still find the sensory joy in our everyday interactions with others or within ourselves. The first adverse effect of living out a life just in your head is a fake sense of satisfaction. Sometimes the process of procrastination can be made a bit more benign by brainstorming. Thinking something through in hopes of being well prepared for it can be a good first step, but when done excessively and in absence of action, any real action, it can turn into a vicious loop where one might feel a fake sense of progress, thus in turn drawing a fake sense of satisfaction from it. If you've ever experienced something similar, you would know well how fleeting this feeling is. That's kind of because it's fake. Because deep down, we very well understand that we are putting off the need to act and replacing it with the need to feel good about ourselves. If you look up the origins of word connect, you would understand why what we call connection in today's world is more like a practice of keeping up with the others. While digital connection is a good alternative to real connection when necessary, it does not and cannot replace the need to be sitting across from each other, to be able to hug in greeting and hold someone's hand in assurance. And hence, it isn't a long-term solution to isolation. Have you ever spun yourself a web of fake scenarios so intricate that it starts to feel real? I refer to the real emotions these set fake scenarios invoke in us as borrowed distress. What started as a silly thought when pursued with our very own biased state of mind can end up invoking very real and sometimes very disturbing emotions in us. It's not fun. The distress feels real. And so the scenario doesn't feel too far from something that could manifest in real life. Even though that's just our clouded judgment. This clouded perception makes us forget that we're still in our heads. Okay, stepping out. How to? Stepping out of your head is usually the best advice I would give to anyone who is struggling alongside myself. And you might be thinking, gee, I'm cured. But trust me, when I have spent a whole day living inside my head, rather than stepping out of it, my first reaction is to ponder what is wrong with me. And it does not come naturally, at least to myself. So we're stepping out of our heads, and to do so, we're going to do number 1, literal movement. Get moving, get grooving, whatever works for you, whatever is your movement of choice. The number 1 and the best thing to get out of your head is to move. Start moving. I felt like I looked like a potato from that angle, so I changed it. My second favorite thing to do is to redirect your energies. Much like movement, giving yourself something constructive to wonder about, plan about, or to work on is a much better distraction. Also, if you've been planning in your head all this time, finally finding the energy and the courage to act upon it is a good way to step away from thinking and more towards doing. Feel free to ease into it, but make sure to release all that thought and to manifest through your actions. Number 3, clock in friends and experiences. Although I would make time to see my friends every once in a while in my own country, ever since I've moved abroad, it's been a little isolating. Maybe a little more than a little. While I'm making new friends, the social scene for me has been a little dry. And if it's difficult to make friends as an adult, it's near impossible to make friends as an adult in on-the-go culture. But then I don't blame anyone because groceries are so expensive where I live. My first choice would be to make time for the people in my life. But isolation has taught me that life goes on, and luckily there's always these little nuggets of experience to collect within it. I also always try not to lose touch with the sensory base of taking care of myself and my space. It's the sense of achievement after I've cleaned my room, the dexterity and ideation that made a delicious meal possible for myself and my family, and the boost it affords to my health. I believe such simple experiences that allow life to slow down but also continue in the most fundamental ways are truly fulfilling and should not be overlooked either. In the end, you always have some truly constructive advice, like staying positive and staying grateful in life, and those are always important. But I feel like, given my experience and the days that I have wasted in my own head, these little nuggets of advice have been really useful, really helpful, and I hope they prove to be the same for you. I did. It was me. I shook the table. I'm sorry. I'm not sure where being honest about my mental state is gonna take me in my channel, but it is definitely something that I find meaningful to talk about and hope to do more in the future. So if you're new here, hi, I'm Nam. Well, I am Namrita, but you can call me Nam, and I hope to see you again. Also, like, can we normalize bad hair? Let's just I'm normalizing frizzy hair and unconventional beauty in them. I refer to the real emotions these set fake scenarios invoke in us create. Ooh. I think invoke would be a better word. I would change it.